Back up to the start for a heat of the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup for Schoolboy 8s, this fantastic event this year. And these are two crews from Bryanston School, the UK-based school. They are on the far side with all the people on the enclosure side, and then the crew from Lawrenceville, USA. And they are on the station on the right of your picture.
So I thought real contrast between the two crews here. On the left, Bryanston with a really patient start. They waited and waited for the boat to start moving. The Americans a bit more explosive, perhaps wasting a bit more energy, but they seem to be off at pretty much the same pace. It's great to see Bryanston here at Henley. They've had a 5-year plan. Coach Richard Bolton, ex-British team, ex-Hampton School winner at the Princess Elizabeth here in Henley some years ago. His 5-year mission was to get them to Henley, and he's achieved it in year 4. And this is looking like a good start. Bryanston slightly up on the far side of our picture, while Lawrenceville are just getting into the rhythm on the near side.
Matt, I have to say, the only thing you forgot from that great thing about Richard Bolton was he used to cox you.
Well, that's true. We did win together. I thought he was quite heavy for a cox, to be honest, but he didn't seem to slow us down too much. So perhaps, what the cox brings to the crew, of course, is a few things. I always think they bring coaching. You're trying to make sure the crew is run technically well. They bring information. Where are you? Where's the other crew? Where are you on the course? How much to go? And they bring motivation. And both of these crews seem to be well coxed, because they are still in the race as we join halfway down the course now. Pretty much neck and neck, perhaps a little bit of an edge to the Lawrenceville School now.
So the Lawrenceville School from the USA, their coach Ben Wright, who's been at Lawrenceville for the last 13 or 14 years, and he's led that program really impressively, former Marine officer.
Yeah, and also his son is sitting there in the 3-seat. That's his son George, I think, in the 3-seat there, and he's very proud to be rowing, coached under his father. His father actually also experienced Henley won for Shrewsbury in 1981 in the special race for schools. We used to call it the special race for Shrewsbury because they won so often, but great for him to be back now coaching his own son in this event, and actually looking pretty good as they sit ahead of Bryanston.
That's a good stat. And actually another one of your former crewmates, Jonathan Singfield, his son is rowing in this event, the Princess Elizabeth Cup for St Edward's School.
And one of the great things about the sport, I think, is the generations, the baton passes between, inspiring one to another. We can see there from the 3/4 mile board, you can see the sign number 2 just over a length ahead of sign number 1, and that's a critical point. When you break so that there's no overlap, it's quite hard for the crew behind to get a sense as to how close they are, except for the bow wake of the leading crew can sometimes wash across you, making the water a bit more poppy. And if you look at the right of the picture here, you can see perhaps a little bit of difficulty with the water, the boat rolling around, the oars starting to a little bit more out of sync. Meanwhile, Lawrenceville looking stronger, a bit more confident, a little bit more drive as they push through the middle of the course.
Yeah, just looking at that time, you can see it in the distance on the falling mark of 3:18. I mean, these are pretty decent conditions, fairly pacey, I think, and just the speed with which St Paul's won that event last year. They went sub 2:58 to Fawley, I think, when they set that record time.
That was a fantastic record. I was looking actually at the video of that event's now got over 100,000 views. Such an amazing demonstration of quality. Yeah. And we should say to the Bryanston School here, it was a 5-year mission to get to Henley. They've reached it in year 4, and actually 7 of these athletes are going to be back next year. So it's a very, very young crew and tremendous experience for them to be on the Henley track and battling against a crew that has come all the way across from the States. Typically that means you've got some confidence that you can go more than a day or two into the competition, so a strong crew to come up against in your first Henley for so many years.
So on the left of your picture, you're looking at the back of Kevin Shaw, who is 77 kilos. He's going to MIT in their lightweight program in the fall of this year. There's his back, and it's his second year at bow in this first varsity 8. A competitive swimmer, played water polo too, and he's a slight man, isn't he? He's not so big, but he's really fluid, really flexible. He's having a great ride up there, riding shotgun in the bows of the boat. A little bit of steering going on. Yeah,
and Bryanston are doing well to hang on here, Martin. I think they slipped down to a little bit of clear water between the boats, but it looks like they're pushing it back to really make sure that they give it all in case anything happens to the crew ahead of them. But Lawrenceville looking quite strong now, a few strokes away from the finish. Bryanston really going for it, winding under 18 up. There's nothing to lose by throwing everything you've got against this tough 2,112-metre course here at Henley, and Lawrenceville crossing the line first into the next day of the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup.
There is the Lawrenceville School, confirmation that they have taken that heat from their rivals from Bryanston School, the heat of the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup. It's Lawrenceville who will progress on to Thursday.